the sports news from today.
On Green, Curry, a three-pointer. Bang! Steph Curry from downtown again! And we're tied with 15.
The voices of tomorrow.
Jamal Murray says, "This is my house."
Murray makes a move.
You're listening to On Deck, presented by Complete Game Broadcasting.
And we are back on the Old School, New School Sports Talk. This is Daryl, the commish.
Yeah.
And I am the Reginator. And, what's good, everyone?
What's happening, man?
Good? How's everyone doing?
Doing well. How
Doing
about
all
you,
right.
man?
Man, this allergy season's killing me
Yeah,
this week.
man, it is. And I had never suffered from allergies till I got old.
Man, I don't know what it is, but this week is a lot of people are like feeling it. I don't know. Once a year, man, for a week, I'm like under the weather, bad. I mean, not sick, but just like congestion and sneezing. And
Runny nose. And
I don't know what the heck it is.
Scratchy eyes. I know it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I just, like I said, until I reached a certain age, I never even experienced this stuff. I used to run out there and roll in the pollen and stuff.
So, real quick, for those that listen in, this will be, well, I won't say the last show because I don't know what you guys have planned. But as far as this is our last week of class,
It is.
It is.
the last show during class.
It's going by really fast.
It has been going by fast, right?
Yes.
So what do you guys take from the class so far? Waste of time?
No.
No.
Oh,
Not-
good
no.
answer. Good answer.
No, not at all. Good use of my time. You know, it gave me some skills that I didn't have before, and it's going to help me launch the single voice doctrine. That's going to be my podcast.
Single
Yeah.
voice doctrine. I like that.
I just love doing this. Just talking about sports, having a conversation. I also like doing the behind the scenes editing, making.
Yeah, you learn it all here.
Yeah.
Or try to get you enough into a little bit of everything, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's definitely
very
definitely been fun and interesting at the same time.
Very
Good.
hands-on
Good.
and
I'm glad.
interactive,
I'm
yeah.
glad. But it never ends here, guys. Never ends. Your steps or your next steps into whatever you want to do as far as broadcasting goes is the sky's the limit. Here at Complete Game Broadcasting, obviously, we're always here for you, too. So anyway, what do we got to talk about today, Reginator? What you starting with?
We're gonna start with Caitlin Clark. And yeah,
Ooh.
as you, I'm
Man,
sure.
I think every week we've talked about her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That explains a lot.
It does-
Yes.
It says a lot, but it ain't saying nothing.
What? What do you mean that say nothing?
It's saying a lot, cause, because we keep beating the dead horse, and nobody wants to, jump on and call a spade a spade. They want to dance around the subject. But what you got going on with Caitlin Clark today, man?
As y'all know, I'm sure most people know, over the weekend, she got into a little bit of a confrontation with Kennedy Carter, who, ironically enough, she used to play for the Atlanta Dream a couple of years ago. But
And she had issues there, too,
yeah,
right?
she did. But she basically pushed her, knocked her down on purpose. And then on the sideline, her rookie classmate, Angel Reese, was kind of just having a little smirk and laughing. And so what do you guys think about that situation? Do you think it's just the regular competitive nature when it comes to basketball? Do you think it's some jealousy going on? Maybe all of the above?
How many boxes can we check?
He's giving you all of the buzz, so I guess you can check every box that he said.
What do you
know what I'm saying?
what do you guys think about that?
I think it's a big non-story that's being made. It's a molehill being made into. It's an anthill being made into a molehill. It's a non-story, but because of who was involved, it's a story. That's it. These type of things happen all the time. Her rookie teammate that was over there cheering, she got mugged the week before.
Yeah.
You saw it. Boom. We ain't talk about it no more. She got mugged. Angel Reese got clothesline, slammed to the floor. And what was said about it, other than the fact that the girl that did it got ejected from the game and was walked off, and they kept on with basketball. we never talked about it anymore. But our golden goose, as they call her, is the savior of the league, gets bumped, hip checked, and knocked down. It's a big thing, you know. And so my take on it is there's not any jealousy that I see. What I see is every time this child is touched, it's a major story. You know, and it shouldn't be that way. You know, it's part of the game. Now, leading up to that, that girl didn't just come up and hip check her for the sake of hip checking her. She took a swing at her coming down the court. They don't show that. See, it's a narrative that's being crafted here that people don't touch the golden child. She's good for the business. We don't want her to touch. But at the same time, you're alienating the rest of the league because of that. And so like I said, they taking a non-story, and it's not so much the veterans in the sports reporting arena. It's the people who she brought to the table who never watched basketball before, who did not know what to expect when she got to the league. That small percentage that, they say that the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Right.
They the squeaky wheel, and although they're just the one wheel on that big wagon, they're getting all the attention, and all the attention is drawn to what people say. Oh, that's egregious. Oh, that's so bad. That's this. That's that. When it actually is not. That's just old man's opinion.
Yeah, for the most part, I tend to agree. I think it's just because of the hype. I get, everyone is focusing on every little thing that happens when she plays, and unfortunately, this happened. But it's just sports. Like it's competitive nature. I think because how she's been hyped about, I'm sure that there are WNBA players that are just like, really? Like I'm gonna show her, and I think that's what we're seeing.
I think you're gonna see that probably in any sport. The problem I had with that issue was it was just called a common foul, right? Yeah. Now they did go back later and adjust that.
That was after the rule.
And I get that. Another thing, you saw Angel Reese celebrating on the sideline with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that. I mean, there's issues there, but I will give Caitlin Clark some props. She hasn't come out and whined about it.
No.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And I think that her fans and everybody that's trying to push this narrative should take their lead from her. She's not complaining. She's trying to get in, which it's almost as if the teacher picks a kid out in the class and makes that her class pet. That kid doesn't want that undue attention, but the teacher keeps giving it to her.
That's a very good example.
And it creates this animosity amongst the rest of the kids in the class. She ain't asking for it, but people keep pushing it on her.
Yeah, I think that's a great analogy, actually, to single voice.
Mm-hmm.
I do think, though, some of the players have to just, I don't know. I think in time they'll embrace it because they're going to benefit from this. I mean, and yes, as you always say, the media blows things up, right?
Blow it up.
It's blowing up the WNBA.
Yeah, but at the same time,
It's really helping the viewership of the
yeah.
WNBA.
But I'm gonna give you another analogy. It's like you came over, set my house on fire, then you came out and put the fire out, and I'm supposed to be appreciative because you came and put the fire out. This whole storm is created by the media. The media created this storm by hyping her, like we said in the past. She's evolved with the game. The game is now about shooting 3-pointers. So she shoots 3-pointers very well. Okay, now she's also a great passer.
Yep.
I give her her props for being a great passer, and she keeps trying to get her other teammates involved.
Yep.
But the media has created this firestorm around her, and now they want us to just accept the fire burning. And
It's like everything else, though. It's like, okay,
this is
you have a hero and you have a villain.
yeah.
That's.
Do you know what this is reminding me of? It reminds me, this Caitlin Clark stuff is reminding me of Lonzo Ball from 7 years ago when his dad used to talk him up every single time about how he's going to be better than Steph Curry. He's going to be better than this, and he's this and this and this. And
Right.
then earlier in his career, like you saw like Patrick Beverly kind of just shove Lonzo Ball out the way and just being physical. You saw these other players try to just send him a message.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna get that.
Yeah,
But then like it got eventually like that settled down, and
Right.
Lonzo Ball was able to kind of settle in into his niche and what he became as a player. Obviously, before he got injured and all that stuff, but he eventually settled in. And I feel like with Caitlin, she's in this space where it's just like the media is talking about her so much, and I'm sure these WNBA players, they look on social media and it's Caitlin Clark, and it's like eventually it's not great right now for if I'm a WNBA player and I'm looking at myself and I'm saying like how I'm not getting the recognition that I deserve, and why she getting all the hype, and I feel like eventually it's gonna settle down.
Yeah, it's going to
And-
settle down, but at the same time, it's here now, and we're talking about it right now. So the thing that needs to be pointed out, and like I say, with these mass media created situations, people love drama. Okay, drama sells. That type of stuff. If you watch First Take yesterday and today, they started off their shows 2 days in a row talking about this Caitlin Clark stuff.
Well, what have we done here, right?
Yeah, so
Yep.
the thing that they said they talk about it because it's the story that's being pushed out there. Well, like I said, you don't listen to the people who are involved, the players, the WNBA analysts, who are all telling you this is nothing that's unusual. This has been going on. You're just now watching and paying attention. Now you have something to say. The WNBA been in existence for 25 years, and for 25 years, they have been a physical league. For 25 years, they showed clips where when Candace Parker, who as her rookie year, she came in, she won Rookie of the Year and league MVP. But they showed how the veterans treated her on the court. They were running over her, molly-whopping her the same way. But the hype wasn't pushed because the eyes weren't there. Now that the eyes are there, everybody can be hypercritical of what's going on around her. This is nothing new. Monica McNutt, she told Stephen A. Smith, and this went viral yesterday, that you're talking about it now, but with your platform,
You weren't talking about it 3 years
you
ago.
wasn't talking about it 3 years ago. Why? Because there was no Caitlin Clark 3 years ago. Now Caitlin Clark is in the media's got behind her. The difference between Caitlin Clark and Candace Parker. Candace Parker didn't come into the league with no signature shoe. She didn't come into the league with with Wilson creating a basketball for her. She didn't come into the league with all this ballyhoo. She came into the league. She did her thing. Again, these women have been playing this game a long time, and now all of a sudden you think that you put a hood ornament on the car that makes the car a lot better now.
It's a catch-22 type of situation. It's definitely promoting the league.
It is.
And to a certain extent, you got to sit back and, yeah, you know what? You can play physical against her. Heck yeah. I mean, look at the bad boys.
Mm-hmm.
WNBA is
Rodman and Lambeer, they pounded people left and right.
The WNBA is more physical than the NBA, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Right
Oh,
now.
absolutely. Absolutely.
And that was one of the things that was pointed out today, that had Bill Lambrier brought that to the
Yeah, he
WNBA.
did. So, I look at it as, hey, you know what? It's promoting the WNBA. I've taken notice.
Yeah.
Would it have been nice years ago? More people watch the WNBA for the talent that's out there. Unfortunately, it didn't. But now they're going to get noticed,
Mm-hmm.
and I think you're going to see a lot of these, women in the WNBA start getting pretty good deals coming out because
I pray.
all of a sudden the attendance is up. Like you said, First Take talking Caitlin Clark
First
right from the
take,
get go.
undisputed.
Yeah. And I
First
think
things first.
it's taking you notice of some of the other great players in the WNBA, and I think people will realize that, and I don't know. I think it's a good thing.
That's my whole
Blindside.
thing is stop being so hypercritical every time somebody is physical with her.
Hey, call the call though.
Yeah, but make the
Don't call it a common call.
Yeah, call.
And I tell you what, if you're her teammates, you better stand up for her. I didn't see that.
Yeah. Matt Barnes he talked about that the other day.
And let's talk about that. We're talking about women. Okay,
Oh, they stand up for others.
understood. We're talking about women here. If this not in her to be that running to the court and saving the type of person, cause Leah Boston ain't never been that type of chick. Even when she was at South Carolina, you know, they would knock Leah Boston down or up and around. She'd get up and smile and go back the other way. Leah Boston has been in Caitlin Clark's ear, you know, encouraging her. You know what I'm saying? But as far as being physical and running to her rescue, that everybody doesn't have that personality.
Probably why they're 2-11.
Yeah, everybody don't have, you know, and like they were talking about, what's Kennedy's last name?
Kennedy Carter.
Okay, when she was here in Atlanta, they cut her because of
Yep.
the way she played.
Absolutely.
When she was here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then she went somewhere else and they got rid of her again. She had to go overseas and work her way back
Yep.
into the league. Everybody just ain't got she said yesterday in an interview, I consider myself a dog. I'm one of those guys that, you know, I'm gonna play to the level that you play at. We all know Caitlin Clark talks plenty trash. Although it might be behind the scenes or, you know, out of the camera's view, she talks trash. It was evident when she went at Raven Johnson when she was doing the hands in the face and all this stuff. And then when it was pushed back on her, there was a backlash. You know, when Angel Reese did the hand in the face, oh, that was the worst thing that could have happened.
A little bit more than, yeah.
You-
I agree with you, but she stepped it up a notch.
Okay, but hold on. Who's to say? At what level do you get to determine? You determine how I come
Hey,
back at you.
if you dish it, you take it, right? And she takes it.
She does, but
The
I'm saying
media doesn't take
the
it.
media doesn't take it, and that's the problem. That's where we have the issue with, because everybody jumps on the protect Caitlin bandwagon. You know,
Well,
so
I think it's been great. I mean, it's a great conversation.
I agree.
And I don't think the WNBA's had this much conversation ever,
Ever.
in the total amount of years.
They
Now
haven't.
And
you're gonna see people start
It's-
enjoying.
I think it's only going to get better from here for the WNBA.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but like I said,
And-
but you're gonna have to keep that physicality.
Oh,
to
yeah.
get it coming.
Okay.
You can't go soft.
No, just call the calls where they're supposed to be called. Don't call it a common foul when you come up and body check
But
somebody.
like I
into
said, the
the
only reason why that thing
first
was,
row.
you know,
One more thing on Kennedy Carter though, like she sent out a tweet about like Caitlin Clark about how she's basically calling her out, like how she's overrated and she's only a shooter and blah blah blah. Do y'all like that?
it's trash talk.
I mean, like on social media. though?
It's trash talk.
It
What
happens, but-
does it matter what the forum is, where the trash talk occurs, whether it occurs on social media or on the court itself? Does it really matter? You know, it's trash talk. You know, and now it's Caitlin's job to go out and show that she ain't.
Okay.
Which
You
they
know,
did.
I'm just.
And they won that game,
I'm
right?
not agreeing or disagreeing. I was just asking the question.
Yeah, because
Oh, it's okay.
yeah,
We're all
fine.
friends
We
here.
all- no, we're not. We're mortal enemies.
Oh, come on.
I'm the Angel Reese, old school, new school sports. No, but like I say, you know, she'll be okay. She gonna persevere.
I agree. She's gonna get better from here. All right, and that's it for this for the first segment of the Old School New School Sports Talk. Coming up next,
We're gonna talk about the Negro leagues and their records being integrated into Major League Baseball.
Check
You
out
see-
the Single Voices jersey,
check it out.
baby.
I am representing the Negro League here in my wear, so that's what we talk about when we come back.
talk soon.
Welcome to Complete Game Broadcasting, your gateway to a successful career in broadcasting. Our comprehensive 9-week program offers flexible class schedules and various payment options. We are proud to be Veteran GI Bill approved. Don't miss out. The next class starts on July 1st. Contact us today at 404-929-0523 or visit CompleteGameStudios.com to secure your spot and start your journey towards a rewarding broadcasting career.
Military veteran wanting to get into the broadcasting industry? I'm Tim Nunn, director at Complete Game Broadcasting. GI Bill approved and helping veterans with the skills for a career change. Your broadcasting adventure can begin after our 9-week lifetime membership class. For more information, go to CompleteGameStudio.com or call me at 404-929-0523. Again, that's CompleteGameStudio.com, 404-929-0523.
Are you tired of spreadsheets, boring endless video conferences, and your boss talking about things like cost analysis and workplace efficiency? Get a head start in a new career with Complete Game Broadcasting. This 9-week all-inclusive program offers day and evening classes starting in March, June, and September. Complete Game Broadcasting offers small classes, hands-on learning, and a lifetime membership to use our studio. That's right, in 9 weeks, you can learn the skills for a new successful adventure in broadcasting. This includes on-camera and mic work, along with behind-the-scenes editing and producing. Do you like podcasts? Yes! Well, we give training in this new medium as well. Complete Game Broadcasting also will assist you in landing that next dream job in the broadcasting industry. Visit CompleteGameStudio.com or call 404-929-0523 for further information. Again, that's CompleteGameStudio.com, 404-929-0523.
This sports update is presented by Complete Game Broadcasting, training the sports voices of tomorrow. And here's what sports fans are talking about.
This is your CBG Sports News Update. I'm Reggie Mickles. The Boston Celtics will host the Dallas Mavericks in Game 1 of the NBA Finals on June the 6th. This is Boston's second trip to the NBA Finals in 3 years, and this is Dallas's first trip to the NBA Finals since 2011. Naismith Hall of Famer Alonzo Mourning underwent surgery to remove a prostate after his stage 3 prostate cancer diagnosis. Additional tests revealed that the cancer did not spread in mid-March, and as of this moment, he is now cancer-free. Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson has agreed to a 4-year, $140 million contract extension with the Minnesota Vikings that includes $110 million guaranteed. The deal makes him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. That is your CBG News Sports Update. I'm Reggie Mickles, known as the Reginator.
And we're back. Welcome to Old School, New School Sports Talk. I'm your boy, the Single Voice, along here with Reginator and the commish.
I'm still here.
Yeah, you still here? Yeah. And like I said, you got to let the commish be recognized. He feels lonely over there when we don't say anything to him. So I'm just going to, give a shout out to the commish.
Yeah, Reginator had to separate us in between on the break there.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Yeah, but Major League Baseball did something that they should have done almost 50 years ago, and that is they incorporated the stats from the Negro Leagues into official Major League Baseball record books. With that being done, some of the people that you thought were the best at their position in each sport in home run hitting and batting percentage, they aren't that anymore. Josh Gibson knocked out, I think, three different categories.
Yeah, he was a stud.
Yeah, so what do you guys think about what Major League Baseball did, and is it too little, too late, or does it say more about Major League Baseball as a whole, or what you think?
I like it. I mean, I think it's nice to have some change and some adaptability to what's happening in baseball. When it comes to baseball, like, it hasn't been, like, at least nationally, it doesn't seem like it's the most popular network compared to NFL, NBA, even college basketball. So I think change is always good for base for
Yeah, I would never say never too late, right? Maybe past due.
Past due.
It's great to get, that stuff in the record books for sure. Those guys definitely deserve to be recognized. Baseball used to be America's game, right? Way back in the day. And I think it's making a little bit of a resurgence with all the young talent that's coming in. And some of the rule changes that are speeding up the game a little bit. People are a little bit worried about that, but I think it's really helped a lot.
and there's more like analytics in baseball.
Oh, there's tons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy what kind of stats people come up with.
But that's a historical context behind what's going on with Major League Baseball too, and it's been maybe not the cry from mass media because they don't talk about it, but it's been the cry in the African American community for years that baseball is. It seems like they're systemically trying to weed African Americans out of the game.
Yeah, if you're not a big baseball fan, like I am, I'm a huge, so I know about the Negro Leagues. If you're not a huge baseball fan, you think African American, you think Jackie Robinson.
Yeah.
There's a
Hank
lot
Aaron.
before there. There's a lot before that. A lot of great baseball played. The single voice got on his jersey.
The Atlanta Black Crackers.
There you go.
Whoa.
Isn't that an oxymoron?
Yeah.
Atlanta Black Crackers from the old Negro League, So
What year was that? Was it like 19 what?
this is 1947 till they ended. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they but they had the Atlanta Crackers
Yep.
too.
Yep.
They were in I think they were in the International League. I don't think they were in Major League Baseball, but they were in the International League. And International League, and see, that's one of the things why I was talking about the historical context of it. There were other leagues that their records and everything were integrated back in 1969. You had the International League. You got the American League that's currently now. They were brought in. They were a separate league from Major League Baseball. Then you had the Union Association, the Players League. All these leagues were established. The International League was one of the few leagues where black guys could actually play. And they had teams in Cuba, they had teams in Canada, and they had teams here in the United States. And those leagues were currently brought up. The International League, funny that it's called International League, is part of AAA baseball now.
Right.
You got
that's the developmental league, right?
with it's the league. It's a step below Major League Baseball. So International League is over here. They are a division of AAA, with the Pacific Coast League being the second division. And they play each other for the International League Championship. In AAA. So it's just again one of those things that historically it seems to be a systemic attempt to weed us out of the game, and I think that's the thing that's with this being done now. I think it's going to promote bringing us back to the game, and I see that happening. Even if you go in baseball as a sport, from youth leagues up to the majors, it's always been segregated leagues, pretty much. Baseball is one of those sports that, in youth leagues, you play in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
So naturally, the teams are going to be segregated.
Yep.
But as you get into high school, the teams they've gone from now. Most high school baseball teams don't allow their athletes to play other sports. Depending on where their high school baseball team is, they did not allow their players to play other sports. So then you have a school that's somewhat integrated, but your stud athletes, they play football, they play basketball, they run track. They also want to play baseball, but they can't play baseball because they play these other sports. Now you have all-white high school teams. Right. And so the segregation continues. It gets to college the same way. College teams recruit from high school teams. Well, if you're a black kid that ain't on a high school team, you're not gonna get recruited to a college team.
Yeah.
And most colleges are the same way as far as allowing their baseball players to play other sports.
I think back in the day, though, I think it became an issue of, being – mean, the African American athlete, pretty much, you didn't see them really getting into baseball that much.
Yeah, like when I remember
You know?
baseball, like if you're black, it's mostly like international people that are usually like into
See,
baseball.
that's a misnomer. That's a misnomer, and that's the thing. I
from
think
what
that's
from what I've been around.
right, but that's the misnomer. We have lots of black kids
Oh, yeah.
that play baseball. But again, the way the system is set up, the way baseball as a whole is set up, it's set up to streamline and keep those athletes. You making kids make choices. At
That's
a
in
young-
every sport, though.
Nah.
Absolutely.
depending- I-
If
like I
you're
said-
if you're a basketball player, you're going year-round basketball.
No.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh no.
If you're
Oh, no.
playing football, is probably not. But if you're seeing that in basketball, you're seeing all these summer
Yeah,
AU and stuff like that.
Like I said, you. But that's again.
It's not just baseball.
I'm not preclude. You're not precluding the kid from playing the sport. You're not telling him he can't play. You know, that kid makes a choice. You know, but you're not telling him he can't play. My son was a baseball player, but at his high school he could not play baseball because he played football and he was on the track team.
Well, track and baseball are in the spring.
But
That's still an issue.
but here again,
What about soccer players not being allowed to play football?
it's in the fall. But you know, again,
Same concept.
depending on the school. Because I know schools, I worked at schools where kids played both sports at the same time. They split their times in practice. If depending on the track,
I see that. I can agree that, and
know,
that's it could be done that way,
yeah,
right?
and I see that more so in the urban schools, inner city schools, and the schools on the south side of Atlanta, as opposed to the more suburban schools on the north side. You know, when I worked on the south side, we had a kid that ran track. True story. His name was Carlos Thomas. Carlos Thomas played football, he ran track, and he played baseball. We were playing a team from McIntosh from Fayette County. They had this ballyhoo pitcher. That was, you know, and some pro scouts came out to watch the pitcher play against Banneker High School. Carlos was at track practice, but he left track practice, ran through his uniform on, and got in the game. Carlos hit a line drive to the third baseman.
So he was a two-sport athlete.
Oh, he was a three-sport athlete. Okay. He hit a line drive to the third baseman. Outran the throw to first base. The scout, because I was calling, I wasn't doing play-by-play, but I was just doing public address announcing. The scout standing behind me said, "What's that kid's name?" He forgot all about the pitcher. He wanted to know who's that speedster that got down to first base before the ball got to first base. Like I said, Carlos ended up playing.
He was a pro scout?
It was a pro scout. I think it was Tampa Bay. Okay. Carlos ended up playing professional football, but he was a true baseball player as well, and he ran track at the same time.
I mean, that happens a lot.
You know,
that happens a lot when somebody comes out to scout somebody, and all of a sudden somebody else catches their eye.
Yeah. That was awful.
I've seen that firsthand. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for not specializing in a sport.
Right.
Baseball is a bad one because they play year-round baseball at the age of 9, 10 years old.
And
So they get pigeonholed.
And
the problem is I really see basketball becoming the same issue lately.
And it's becoming costly too.
Yeah, and you know, you listen to guys like Jeff Francoeur, Chipper Jones, who talk about kids need to be allowed to play all sports.
Yeah, Francoeur was a hell of a football player. He played at Parkview. He played defensive back. He played wide receiver.
Don't tell me the single voice. He was on scholarship to come to Clemson as a baseball football combo guy, but went straight to baseball.
You know, but I'm just saying, the dude was that dude. He played. He was a great athlete, you know, and you got him, and you got to let these guys play. But you know, and it's becoming more costly to play baseball. But normally we used to just go out there and pick up a bat ball and a stick.
Yep.
Place bases anywhere, and we would play the game, you know, as we know.
I mean, I agree. And that's again, that's with every sport almost. I mean, you could just the advanced technology and teaching that goes into each and every game that's out there now. And oh man, I mean,
but the economic impact has a lot to do with, especially resources that are available to
Sure.
kids in different areas. And I would venture to say that if you could get those economic resources funneled into these, low-income schools, you could see.
I will say this, and you probably know the name. Does great work here in Atlanta. C.J. Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
I heard of him.
C.J. Stewart. I got to know C.J.
Didn't he do like?
C.J. played for the Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He has did private teaching for baseball forever. And actually, my son met him when he was 6 years old, 7 years old.
Okay.
I did one of his little camps, and C.J. really enjoyed him, and so I got to know C.J. really well. So C.J. now is really big in Ambassadors of Baseball, I think is what it's called. It's
Is he still here in
predominantly African American young players, giving them the opportunity to shine in the game of baseball.
Atlanta? Is he still here in Atlanta?
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Yep, you can look him up. Amazing guy. He played for the Chicago Cubs. Nicest guy you've ever met. So it's happening, and it needs to be. I think, like the single voice said, if you're a two-sport athlete, it's easy when you're basketball and football, or it's easy if you're football and baseball because they're separate seasons. So what happens when you are a track guy and a baseball guy, or like I said, a soccer guy? Which you don't see many soccer guys that are football players.
Well, they're kickers.
But they're kickers.
They're kickers.
They're kickers.
And so
Yeah, for sure.
And I just think because the delay, because they incorporated all those other leagues in and incorporated all those other stats from those other leagues in so long ago, that it just leads to the argument that systemically they're trying to weed, because like you said, most people of color that in the league now are from foreign countries.
Yeah.
But again, it comes from, they still pay the guys, but there was always the talk that, well, they didn't want brothers in the league because they didn't want to pay out those salaries. They don't have to give them those exorbitant salaries. But now those guys are learning, they get here, get that first contract, and then after that, they're demanding that big money, So
It makes sense.
and it's just one of those things where, like I say, I don't try to make everything so controversial, but it just,
Man, you are today.
but-
Holy
but,
cow.
But it's sport imitating life, and sports are like a microcosm of American society, and you have those pitfalls and those things that go on out in society. They happen in sports, where it is supposed to be a meritocracy, it's not, because you still got those people where you got, like I said.
Hopefully that's changing.
Well, let's pray that it changes.
I think I'm seeing movement.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, that's this take on the Negro Leagues going into the Major League Baseball. Coming up next, what we're gonna talk about, Reg?
We're gonna talk about the NBA Finals.
Hey,
Reggie's favorite
that's
thing,
today,
baby.
the man.
Luka Doncic and the Boston Celtics. Jaylen Brown, Jason
right.
Tatum.
All right, coming up next.
Yeah, we'll be right back after these commercial breaks. Okay, let's get. Welcome to Complete Game Broadcasting, your gateway to a successful career in broadcasting. Our comprehensive 9-week program offers flexible class schedules and various payment options. We are proud to be veteran GI Bill approved. Don't miss out. The next class starts on July 1st. Contact us today at 404-929-0523 or visit CompleteGameStudios.com to secure your spot and start your journey towards a rewarding broadcasting career.
Military veteran wanting to get into the broadcasting industry? I'm Tim Nunn, director at Complete Game Broadcasting. GI Bill approved and helping veterans with the skills for a career change. Your broadcasting adventure can begin after our 9-week lifetime membership class. For more information, go to CompleteGameStudio.com or call me at 404-929-0523. Again, that's CompleteGameStudio.com, 404-929-0523.
Are you tired of spreadsheets, boring endless video conferences, and your boss talking about things like cost analysis and workplace efficiency? Get a head start in a new career with Complete Game Broadcasting. This 9-week all-inclusive program offers day and evening classes starting in March, June, and September. Complete Game Broadcasting offers small classes, hands-on learning, and a lifetime membership to use our studio. That's right, in 9 weeks, you can learn the skills for a new successful adventure in broadcasting. This includes on-camera and mic work, along with behind-the-scenes editing and producing. Do you like podcasts? Yes! Well, we give training in this new medium as well. Complete Game Broadcasting also will assist you in landing that next dream job in the broadcasting industry. Visit CompleteGameStudio.com or call 404-929-0523 for further information. Again, that's CompleteGameStudio.com, 404-929-0523.
This sports update is presented by Complete Game Broadcasting, training the sports voices of tomorrow. And here's what sports fans are talking about.
With your CGB Live Sports Update, I'm Daryl Singleton. Dallas Cowboy wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, who is seeking a contract extension, is not expected to attend the team's mandatory minicamp that opens on Tuesday, a source told Adam Schefter. Lamb has also not attended the team's OTAs, which are voluntary. He will be subject to fines by missing the team's minicamp, however. Major League Baseball has permanently banned Tucupita Marcano after determining that the infielder placed hundreds of bets on baseball, including wagers on games involving the Pittsburgh Pirates when he was on the team last season. Major League Baseball announced Marcano's lifetime ban Tuesday, saying that an investigation showed he violated the league's betting rules and policies. And this on another Dallas Cowboy note, it's a sad one. The Dallas Cowboys and his fan base are now in mourning after Hall of Fame lineman Larry Allen died at the age of 52 while on vacation in Mexico with his family. The cause of death has not been announced. That's your CGB Live Sports Update. I am Daryl Singleton.
Basketball.
And we are back on the Old School New School Sports Talk. And you hear that music. We're playing basketball.
Look at Reg.
Yes,
Talking
Reg,
basketball.
get into it.
Yeah.
Reggie's
But,
dancing over there.
Yes, sir.
Talking basketball. So the NBA Finals is scheduled to kick off on Thursday. We have the
Man, how many weeks they get off?
I don't know, man.
It's crazy.
They
It's
started
like over a week, isn't it?
Feel like they started a new
I
season.
forgot they were playing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But we have the Mavs and the Celtics, and I got to tell you guys, this matchup is probably the most amped I've ever. This is the most amped up finals matchup I've ever been like interested in about 8 years since the Warriors Cavs.
What do you mean 8 years? You're only 18. What are you talking about, man?
Ain't that- I'm not. I'm older than that. But like I'm actually looking forward to this matchup, and like I want to talk about Luka because I can't get over what he did against Minnesota to just close him out. Like you watch that game and he just like he made a couple of threes, he made a couple of layups, and then it just felt like he was just in a groove and he just wasn't going to allow Dallas to lose that game. And as an Atlanta Hawk fan, sometimes it just look. I love my boy Trae Young,
Yeah.
but
Mm.
sometimes it does hurt when
But you would have loved your boy.
Luka even
Luka.
better.
he would have been. Look, we can talk about theories as to why the Hawks didn't draft him. Like there are some theories out there, but he's really good.
Word on the street is that he was never supposed to have been drafted by the Hawks in the first place. That was Mark Cuban draft. They had made the Dallas Mavericks made a deal with the Hawks to draft for them to draft Luka for them.
Yeah,
And I think they got some monetary compensation for doing it, and they drafted, and then Dallas drafted Trae.
my theory is like I don't think Luka ever wanted to play here. I think this is just speculation. I'm guessing like Luka's agent kind of just sent the Hawks a list of teams.
You guys can't see the picture I just put up. It's Luka. He's got his hand on his heart and he's smiling.
Yeah.
He's thanking God he didn't come to Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm betting, I'm speculating that Luka didn't want to come here, and he sent a list to the Hawks, and the Hawks are like, well, he doesn't want to come here, so we're gonna trade him for as much as we can.
I think the single had it
and get a guy that we like just as much and trade.
That's a trade guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the single voice had it right.
He don't want to face reality. Here again.
It
You had Luka. If Luka was the guy, they would have drafted somebody else had they not, wanted Luka. But the thing of it is,
It hurts.
Dallas offered Atlanta monetary compensation. Say he won't be there when we want him. Take him for us, and we'll take the guy that you want. And that's what ended up happening. It was one of the behind the door deals. As much as you don't want to accept it, and as much as you love Trae Young, and as much as you
Luka's a better player.
But now you sitting there having second thoughts about that Trae Young.
Look, man, Luka's a better player. I'm not even gonna debate that. Luka's a better player. Luka's a top 3 player. Trae is a borderline top 20 player.
Okay, I about to say. I thought you were going to say top 5, top 10.
I'm not gonna go down. Luka's a top 3 player. Trae is a borderline top 20 player.
Okay, I give you that.
And so, but enough about that. The finals is on. What do y'all think about this matchup?
I think one thing you forgot to mention, Kyrie.
Oh yeah,
Him and Luka have been meshing like unbelievable.
It's a different maker.
And unless something happens, I don't see Dallas losing this series.
No, Jalen and what's the boy name?
Jason Tatum.
You don't even know his name.
I got a brain for it right there. Jason and Jalen. They've been meshing too.
They have been.
And they brought their A games. And like I say, both teams impressed me. Both teams did differently from what I expected them to do in the conference finals. I didn't expect them to win as easily as they did.
I look at this matchup and that Boston to me has the better roster, and I think with Boston, they present offensively. They just have guys who can just shoot the ball and score at all 5 positions, whether it's Tatum, Brown, even Derek White and Jrue Holiday. Like those guys, they're defensive. They can play defense, but they can score. Like Derek White earlier in the playoffs, like he had a stretch where he was going for 30. And so you have like 5 scorers. And I think with Dallas, I don't think throughout the playoffs, I don't think they've played an offensive a team that's as well-rounded on offense the way that they're going to face with Boston. And I think in the case of Boston, like they've had an easy road because they played Miami without Jimmy Butler. They played Cleveland without Donovan Mitchell for half of the series, and then they played Indiana without Tyrese Halliburton for half of the series. So they've had an easier road, and now you're playing against Dallas with Luka and Kyrie, and Dallas just playing really good basketball on both ends of the floor. And so I'm gonna take Dallas in 7 just because I just think Luka's the best player on the series, and I think when the games get tight, I trust Luka and Kyrie to execute more than I trust Boston. But I think this is a great series.
It's a toss-up for me. I ain't calling nobody. I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy this one because it's, I honestly think that the veteran leadership of Kyrie is gonna shine in the championship. He's been there. The other guys, Boston's been there, but they haven't won it.
Right.
Kyrie has won it, and he has experienced that. That spirit's going to be infectious. It's going to spread throughout the Dallas Mavericks team, and you're going to see a team they're going to execute well. I would be very surprised if this doesn't go 7. I would be surprised, but if it doesn't go 7, I'm gonna be more surprised that it would be Dallas taking out Boston if it don't go 7.
Okay.
But it's a toss-up for me, and I'm just going to sit back, pop popcorn, drink beer.
Boston have home court?
Yeah.
They do. And what's so fascinating is like, I'm not answering this, but it's like Boston has home court, but like Dallas, they went on the road, like, and that's what's been so impressive to me about Luka is like Luka, his best games in the playoffs have been on the road.
What's the season series between the two? They played each other twice, I know.
I think Boston won both times.
Okay.
But like in one of those games, like was Kyrie playing? I'm not sure about that.
Does Porzingis come back in the championship?
He does.
Nobody talks about Porzingis, and he played at Dallas, and
That's a good point.
And I think he has a beef with Dallas.
If I remember right, Kyrie played at Boston.
Yeah, but Kyrie with his beef at Boston, Kyrie was going through some scorched earth moments, at Boston and at Brooklyn. I think he's found his niche over there at Dallas. He has he's in a situation where he's doing much better. I don't think he's expected to be the guy, although he is the guy. Everybody's talking about Luka, but Kyrie knows that he's the guy that everybody looks at, especially on that team. That team looks for his leadership. They follow him, and he just feeds off that. It's almost as him being an Uncle Drew. You remember the movie Uncle Drew?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the role Kyrie's playing right now. He's Uncle Drew of the Dallas Mavericks. He's the heart and soul of the team, although he might not be the best player on the team, although he was the best player.
I mean, you're right. Like it's like he's the Dwayne Wade to what LeBron was, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
And like to Kyrie's credit, like I haven't always been a fan of how he's conducted himself in the past, but like he's maturing.
Yeah.
Like he's maturing. I think Dallas was it was a great move for Dallas. Like Dallas traded like Spencer Dinwiddie, a couple of role players and a pick. Like it wasn't a lot. They didn't give up a lot because Kyrie was at a down point of his, during his time in Brooklyn, and not a lot of teams wanted him, so Dallas could get him for not much. And like Dallas is just he's flourishing.
Yeah. I mean,
and they've made other moves like drafting Lively, trading for PJ Washington, and to me he's X factor in the finals. For me, it's PJ Washington. I think if Dallas loses this series, it's going to be because like Luka and Kyrie don't get enough help scoring wise, and maybe like one of Kyrie or Luka doesn't play as efficiently.
Or if the is it the GM or the VP that took Luka's beer away from him?
Oh, Michael Finley, yeah, it was the GM. He's the old Dallas Maverick himself.
Well, Luka, man.
Yeah, man.
So, but yeah, PJ Washington, to me he's the X factor for this finals, because if he can like hit shots that he's gonna get from Luka and Kyrie being doubled, Dallas is gonna be really tough.
Should be a good one.
Me personally, like I said, I'm gonna pop some popcorn. I'm gonna pop open a Sweetwater 420, shameless plug, and sit back and watch the series. It doesn't matter to me who wins. I just want to see a good series, And so, like I said, if it goes 7, that's good for me. If it doesn't go 7, I honestly think that Dallas is gonna win.
I don't blame you. I agree.
Reggie's with us, right with it. PJ Washington, the X Factor.
Yeah, and that's it for this segment. And coming up next, what do we have coming up next?
Well, we're gonna talk a little U.S. gymnastics. Let's talk about Simone Biles and her winning her 9th, I think, U.S. championship and heading into the Olympics. Welcome to Complete Game Broadcasting, your gateway to a successful career in broadcasting. Our comprehensive 9-week program offers flexible class schedules and various payment options. We are proud to be Veteran GI Bill approved. Don't miss out. The next class starts on July 1st. Contact us today at 404-929-0523 or visit CompleteGameStudios.com to secure your spot and start your journey.
Military veteran wanting to get into the broadcasting industry? I'm Tim Nunn, director at Complete Game Broadcasting. GI GI Bill approved, and helping veterans with the skills for a career change. Your broadcasting adventure can begin after our 9-week lifetime membership class. For more information, go to CompleteGameStudio.com or call me at 404-929-0523. Again, that's CompleteGameStudio.com, 404-929-0523.
Are you tired of spreadsheets, boring endless video conferences, and your boss talking about things like cost analysis and workplace efficiency? Get a head start in a new career with Complete Game Broadcasting. This 9-week all-inclusive program offers day and evening classes starting in March, June, and September. Complete Game Broadcasting offers small classes, hands-on learning, and a lifetime membership to use our studio. That's right, in 9 weeks, you can learn the skills for a new successful adventure in broadcasting. This includes on-camera and mic work, along with behind-the-scenes editing and producing. Do you like podcasts? Yes! Well, we give training in this new medium as well. Complete Game Broadcasting also will assist you in landing that next dream job in the broadcasting industry. Visit CompleteGameStudio.com or call 404-929-0523 for further information. Again, that's CompleteGameStudio.com, 404-929-0523.
This sports update is presented by Complete Game Broadcasting, training the sports voices of tomorrow. And here's what sports fans are talking about.
And this is your CBG Sports News Update. I'm Reggie Mickles. The Boston Celtics will host the Dallas Mavericks in Game 1 of the NBA Finals on June the 6th. This is Boston's second trip to the NBA Finals in 3 years, and this is Dallas's first trip to the NBA Finals since 2011. Naismith Hall of Famer Alonzo Mourning underwent surgery to remove his prostate after a diagnosis of stage 3 prostate cancer. Additional tests revealed that the cancer did not spread, and his mid-March procedure has left him cancer-free. Minnesota Vikings star wide receiver Justin Jefferson has agreed to a 4-year deal worth $140 million. That includes a $110 million guaranteed. The deal makes him the highest non-paid quarterback in NFL history. And that is your CBG News Sports Update. I'm Reggie Mickles, known as the Reginator.
Welcome back. This is Old School, New School Sports Talk. I'm the single voice once again. We're going to talk a little gymnastics, you know. That girl, Simone Biles, she did it again. Number 9. She's won the U.S. national title in gymnastics, headed into the Olympic trials. Now, I'm not certain, but I thought that if you were the U.S. champion, you got an automatic bid to the Olympics.
Do they? I thought they did too.
I thought so too, and I think
Is she all around?
She's
Okay.
Overall all around.
You
and
might be right. I don't know.
And I think that's the same with track and field as well. I was thinking if you were the national champion, you would get an automatic bid to the Olympics. But I'm not sure if I heard correctly. I thought I heard them saying she's going to compete next week or in 2 weeks in the Olympic trials.
And there's a lot of really cool Olympic trial stuff getting ready to come up.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, I know, like, you guys know my history in swimming. I coached swimmers for about 15 years.
That swimming and diving is going to be held in the stadium.
When was this?
They got, huh?
When was this? You call swimmers?
Yeah, I won 2 state championships here in Georgia in high school. And then I coached year-round swimming.
Oh.
Was a national age group coach of the year.
Can't you see he looks like a little tuna?
A lot of man. All right. I see how this is going. Last segment, getting a little brave on me. Coached kids that went on to swim in college. A lot of them Olympic trial qualifiers, that type of thing. Okay. So did that for 15 years. But yeah, I don't know if gymnastics is the same or as much as it probably is, and track and field and swimming. But Olympic trials for swimming is sometimes better than the actual Olympics.
It is.
Because each event, it's not about your time. It's about first or second place. If you get first or second, you're on the Olympic team. So it's some high level competition. There's guys that finish 4th or 5th that would win a medal in the Olympics from Olympic trials that never get recognized.
And I think that this year is going to be, for the swimming, it's going to be interesting because the pool has been set up in a football stadium.
Oh yeah,
They set the pool up in a football stadium. I'm interested.
it's crazy, man. They'll pack it out.
Yeah, they're gonna pack it.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that goes.
That's happening in a week and a half.
Yeah, in Houston.
I don't know when the track and field, Gerald. You know
It's
when
during the 22nd, 23rd, the weekend of the 22nd.
So it's after swimming.
Yeah,
and
I think
gymnastics trials.
I think they're around the gymnastics and track and field are around the same time.
Yeah, they tried to not get it all at the same time.
Yeah.
So there'll be some good TV watching. It'll get everybody psyched up for the Olympics too.
Like I said, and that's my hope that everybody gets psyched up for the Olympics. I really wanted to go, but I think now that it's here in 2028, I might put that on my bucket list.
Yeah, bucket list.
And do like your dad and go out there and try to find as many tickets as I can.
Tell you what, he had a blast.
That should be epic.
He had a blast. Speaking of bucket list, since the last segment of Old School, New School, give me your 5 top bucket list items.
You mean like what do you want to do for the rest of like?
Yeah, sport wise.
Okay.
I want to do.
What do you want? What do you want to go see?
I want to go see a Super Bowl live.
Okay.
Catch an NBA championship game live.
All right.
I want to go to the U.S. Track and Field Championships in Oregon. I just want to go to the stadium. Go out there to the stadium. It don't even have to be the U.S. Nationals. I just want to go to Eugene. I know that's home of track and field. I want to go in that stadium and say I witnessed a track and field competition in that stadium.
Get your butt out there.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm gonna have to put it on my bucket list. My kids keep telling me, Dad, there's nothing holding you back from doing the stuff
That's what I'm saying.
Doing the stuff that you want to do. I just, you get so complacent and get so used to doing things a certain way. I'm trying to break that cycle now. So that's what I want to do. And I also I want to go back to Germany and go catch a game in the league that I played in 30 years ago.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
For me, I want to go to an NBA Finals game.
All right, you and Daryl can go together.
I want to go to a Super Bowl.
There you go, another one.
I want to go to the NBA All-Star game.
All right.
I want to go to a college football playoff game.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, I've been there, done that as well.
I want to do that, and one more.
Because I've been to bowl games. I've been to several bowl games. And,
I want to go to. You know what? I would. Man, I got 4, so it's hard for me to find.
That's okay. Yeah. That's all good.
No, I got one. I want
boy.
I want to go to a Braves World Series game.
All right.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's always a good time.
That's doable.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
right here in town, right?
Yeah,
Hopefully
that's
this
doable.
year. I don't know. We got a lot of injuries to find about. So
Or you know what? Or
all of a sudden, I don't know. I only got 4. He's going up to 10.
Yeah.
Either a Braves World Series or a Braves playoff game.
Okay.
Something like that.
That's doable.
Yep. Very easy.
Mm-hmm.
I've knocked a couple off already. So one of mine used to be to go to Notre Dame. I'm a big college football guy.
Touchdown, Jesus.
And it's just, you watch all the old film of Newt Rockne and all that kind of stuff. So when I went last year or 2 years ago.
Did Clemson go up there and play them?
Yeah, we got whooped. But you know what? It was the best trip. I'm not lying. When you step foot on that campus, it's
Everybody
like
that goes there tell me
it's
the
like
same
you're
thing.
back in time. It's like really surreal.
Everybody that's
It's
going
really
there
cool.
tells me that.
So I got to do that. I got to go to the Army-Navy game, which is just amazing. It's not the game itself. It's
No,
much more about that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever get the opportunity to do that, it's a really cool experience. I want to go to the Rose Bowl. That's big daddy of them all as far as college football goes for me.
I don't want to go to the game, but I really love to go to the parade.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, you do both, right?
No, I want to go to the parade.
So, the Rose Bowl's on my list. The Indianapolis 500's on my list. And the Kentucky Derby is on my list.
Yeah.
Now, the last one, which if I have the opportunity, I might do this year. The College World Series in Omaha.
In Omaha.
It's a pretty cool experience. You got
Nebraska.
8 college teams, so that you know my Clemson Tigers have a pretty good shot.
Yeah.
The Super Regionals. You should be rooting for us, D.
I know
Single
the
voice.
ACC.
We're playing Florida.
Yeah, I got you.
You're a Miami guy. You can't
know,
stand
I
Florida,
stand
right?
Florida.
You really,
But I can't stand Clemson either.
Man, I went to school there.
I know, I understand.
I can't
Paid some
stand,
big bucks to the school.
I can't stand Clemson.
No, I am. I'm diehard, man. I'm like orange and purple
Regardless of the sport.
all the way through. Yep.
You see him over there with that?
What do you mean, man? Soccer national champs this year.
Okay.
Football's always up there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Basketball Elite 8 this year. How about that?
Okay.
Baseball, potentially College World Series. It's a pretty good year for guys sports.
Yeah, and it's right up the road.
Yeah, it's only 2 hours away on the lake,
Yeah,
Okay.
I went
close to the mountains.
I went to see Clemson and Wake Forest play a couple of years back.
Basketball?
Football.
Okay.
My one of my good friends, his son played wide receiver for Wake, and
Okay.
we had tickets, and we went up there. We were able to actually drive up to the stadium.
I wish I would have known you back in those
Yeah,
days.
And went in the stadium. We sat down in the little corner of the end zone where they put the 15-piece band the
Yep.
visiting band over.
15 pieces
Yeah,
band.
'cause they don't
It's
let-
not big, man.
They don't.
It's
They
not.
don't let many of the opposing band come to the game.
No,
so
no.
They had I think Clemson. I mean, Wake.
Oh, you were with the Wake little
Yeah, I
band
was
over in the
Wake
end
band.
zone?
Yeah, over in the end zone, but I was on the edge of the field. I was in the end zone, but I was this way, and the band sat in the corner right there.
Yeah, so now you know if you ever go up to Clemson, let me know.
Yeah,
Usually
okay,
I'm there.
I got-
I was at that game.
Okay, so,
So, yeah.
I enjoyed the experience. Like I said, we walked right out of the stadium and right into the parking lot. You know, where they did the tailgating,
Yep.
right. And I was, thrown by how so many people walk from seems like 2-3 miles this way
Yeah.
to get to the stadium. They park and they just all converge on the stadium, sit there.
A lot of orange.
Yeah.
A lot of
Mhm.
good hospitality. Everybody probably treated you right, I hope.
Yeah,
you
I didn't wear any
Yeah,
identifying stuff. I just
They'll invite
we
opposing teams in, tailgate with them.
I was about to say we parked where they tailgate at, got out of the car, and we were walking by. People had TVs out. We stopped and looked and come on, man, And I'm like, okay, let's see what they're talking about. So it was a wonderful experience up at Clemson. I got a good friend whose daughter's at Clemson now. He's actually watching the podcast now. His name Daryl McDaniel. And hey,
Okay.
Daryl, shout out to Daryl. And his daughter's a student at Clemson.
Okay.
He's a Bulldog fan, but he's
Oh,
a
yes,
but he's a
sir.
Clemson.
Now wait a minute.
Bulldogs. I like that.
Reggie, when you start sending your kids to schools, guess what? Your allegiance changes a little bit
He's a Clemson
because that's
dad.
where your money's
Yeah,
going.
he's a Clemson dad now.
Go Tigers, baby.
Yeah, he's a Clemson dad. So shout out to Daryl McDaniels. I see you, man. I got your text saying that you're tuning in. So hopefully we, talking about Clemson made me think about you, bro.
Man, Clemson's done a lot for women's sports too. Their softball team and their lacrosse team and their soccer team and their gymnastics they just added.
Oh wow.
They added gymnastics a couple years back, but this was their first season for it. They sold out every meet in the basketball coliseum.
I'm about to say where were they holding?
9,000
That's
every time
That's cool.
for
That's
gymnastics.
cool. I can appreciate that.
That's bit time.
And
Yeah.
get him, and like I say, we were talking about gymnastics, talking about Simone Biles and her tremendous accomplishments. We consider her the G-GOAT.
She's got to be.
of
She's up
gymnastics.
there.
She's definitely got to be
She's
right
up
there.
there.
Definitely Mount Rushmore.
I'm talking about the GOAT of gymnastics overall, not just in American gymnastics, but
She's getting
She's
real
on
close.
the Mount Rushmore.
She's getting really, really close. Really, really close.
because she has, I think, a record number of world championships as
Yeah.
well as this is her 9th U.S. championship, but I think she has about 5 or 6 world championships, and I think that's unmatched.
Yeah, she's up there, if not the GOAT. So
I'm glad she made the comeback after her trials with the during the last Olympics with the twirlies, and everybody finding themselves, and they're not trying to do what the young lady was that broke her ankle and still went out and did the vault. Ain't nobody trying to kill themselves to win the gold no more. But it's allegiance to the country, but hell, my health comes first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you got the dizzies and you're like, no way you're getting up on that gymnastics equipment.
So that's cool beans.
I saw a cool article. Y'all might, and I thought it was sort of ironic well, not ironic, but just sort of. It was I had a friend of mine who sent me this article and said, "You need to read this article, which probably could be the GOAT of all goats of all sports." And I'm like, okay.
It was some on balls.
I'll give you. I could give you 100 guesses you never guess. So I'll give you. I'll give you 3 guesses each.
Give me a hint.
Give you a hint.
The GOAT of all sports.
Very fast.
Somebody in NASCAR.
No.
A runner?
No.
Horse racing.
Yes.
Okay. And
I probably wouldn't guess I probably wouldn't guess.
and I'm not Secretariat.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Secretariat.
There's an amazing article on Secretariat, the horse, that explains what this horse had done. It's insane. It is insane, the dominance. Would you all consider a horse an athlete?
More so than the jockey.
Kinda.
But I mean,
Kinda.
And you see those animals up close, you'd be like,
those guys, those things are cut, man. They work out in the gym, man. I've been up and close and personal with some horses, and I've seen them. Those boys, that's something to think about. Are horses athletes? I would have to say because they're the one that's doing all the work. Yeah, and they're more athletic than the jockey that's riding them. What say you?
Reggie's like he's torn here. He doesn't know what to think about this.
I think a horse is an athlete. I do because the speed that you see these horses run around and around the track sometimes, like I do.
And then that way we have to go back and elevate greyhound racing.
Oh, good old greyhound racing, chasing the rabbit.
Chasing the rabbit,
What is that in Alabama? You can go see that. I think I used to.
Used
do
to see
some
it
of
in
that.
Miami all the time.
And highlight.
Greyhound racing.
I used to ride horses back when I was little.
What?
I did. I used to ride horses. There
you go. There you go. The single, the Black Cowboy.
Yeah,
it's an experience.
It is. They're pretty instant. I mean, they're fine specimen of animal.
Yeah,
they're pretty ripped.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, so there you go. You got it, man. I'm impressed.
Hey, man, look, I might not know a lot of things, but I know a lot of things.
Yeah, there you go. That we should probably end on that note. What do you think?
There you go. Well, this has been a stone cold blast for me doing these last 3-4 podcasts with the Reginator and the commish. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you all joining in on Old School, New School sports talk. I am the single voice.
And I am the Reginator.
And always over here behind the scenes, the commish.
Peace and blessings, y'all. We love you all, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.